like it always does. Hello, everybody.
Hello, hello.
It's book club night. It's book club night. I forgot it was book club night.
I
I
almost did. I'm like, wait, yeah, we do have this. Okay.
I thought it was on Sunday for some reason. I'm like, oh wait, it's Friday
I
tonight.
know because that was the rescheduled one from last time, and
I
like this one,
know.
I was like, I literally was working up until like 7 o'clock tonight, in
Oh
Eastern.
man, that's terrible.
Long freaking day. Yeah.
I know it feels like a long week because I went back to 3 days a week this week. So
Yeah.
it just feels like a long week. And like
Yeah.
yesterday felt like I shouldn't have been going to work because I was the third day. And I was like, wait a second, why am I still going to work today? Anyways.
And it makes the week feel a lot longer, just more exhausting when the days I have to go in to
Yeah.
the office feels very long.
And then both my kids have had the crud. Not like no fevers or anything, but just like congestion and sniffles. And they both, like, my daughter sounded like Marge Simpson on Tuesday or Wednesday. And then my son
That's my
today came
daughter
home
too.
early.
We had to do an ER trip to the croup lab for her
No.
croup last night. My husband took her literally until like 1 o'clock or so. Like she came into our room and it's like, help me. Like, oh my gosh, honey.
No.
I was like,
I
okay, did you have to
hated
sorry?
croup.
I didn't want to annoy you guys because you're like trying to go. I'm like, honey, you don't have to. Like, don't even try to speak right now because she's like having trouble breathing. I'm like, you don't have to be sorry.
Oh,
Like,
poor
it's what we
baby.
want you to come to us with these things.
Yeah. When
Even
you
knowing
don't
that,
feel
like,
good, you can come to us. When you're fine and you just can't go to sleep, that's when we don't want you to come to us.
keep coming to delay, but like, I need another drink and I need another.
Yeah, it's the
Then,
delay, delay. Like, I need this, I need that. And no, you don't. Anyways.
all right. So let me. Oh yeah. So as a reminder, before we start talking about the book,
Hmm.
um, there's gonna be spoilers. I think that's pretty self-explanatory, but I know some book clubs don't for when they talk about the book. So just FYI, April and I just lay it all out.
If I remember it.
If I remember it,
Yep.
that's a good point. Oh goodness. All right. So, do you want to talk about what are you currently reading?
Oh, I am finally reading How Does It Feel by Janine O'Reilly. I made it to like 65% in 2 days. I'm flying
Yeah,
through
it's
it.
a fast read. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
And honestly, I'm really loving it. So I think
I
Hannah was
figured
saying
you
that
would. You and Becky.
yeah. Hannah was saying like the beginning part was really slow, but I didn't really find it slow. So I don't know. I'm listening to the audiobook, so audiobook is really good. I really like the narrator. And then what else am I reading? Oh, I just finished up a book. So really that's the only thing I'm reading. I just finished up A Thorn in Every Heart by Kate King that comes out in April 1st. Really good. Really
Nice.
fun, really spicy, really
Why funny?
adventurous. Really liked it. It was just a Beauty and the Beast retelling,
I love it.
um, where her grandmother's having to go in a home or something like that. So she goes back to her grandmother's house to kind of help out. And she's struggling. She's with her own life. And so she gets there and she decides to have a one night stand with this guy. And he turns out to be Fae, and then he kidnaps her and takes her back to his land. And then she has to be in some kind of fake marriage with a king, so he's taking her to the king. And this is because her grandmother made a deal with the king and then reneged on it, so she has to follow up with it.
Sweet. The Fae that she has the one night stand with kidnapped her,
Uh-huh.
but she has to marry some other dude, or is
Mhm.
he like the king?
Mhm.
Nice. Okay. Is this
It's
like shoot? Holy
messy.
shit!
No, it's messy. And then
That's
there's
very
like
messy.
yeah, and then there's some really good side characters. So, really cool.
Sounds
I really
fun.
liked it.
So you just finished that one, you said?
I just finished it last night. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to work on some arcs.
Oh yeah, I have to do one for next month. So could it's due in May, and I'm not going to be reading fantasy in May, pretty much.
Right. All
So yeah, I think
historical.
yeah, all historicals on my birthday. Um, I'm reading Up All Night with a Good Duke by Amy Rose Bennett.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Um, she's a gothic writer, romance writer, and she's like a finishing teacher, governess kind of
Yeah.
thing. And
Yeah, I
and
read
I
that
think
one. It was
I think
really, I liked it.
yeah, I think I'm about 40% in. I would thought it was gonna be a lot faster because there's but always the midweek. I never get much time to read, so I'm like always was getting on a roll, and then I kind of hit with lack of time. And then because I think B and Tara are doing it for their book club this Sunday, so
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna finally get to join in the chat for once. Like looking
Yay.
down in the comments, I'm like, hey, I actually was able to turn on the live while you guys are doing
Yeah.
your
Yeah, that's good.
thing.
Yeah, I
All
liked that
right.
one. All right.
Let's
Um, Dare to be a Duchess. I've been wanting to read this for such a long time, so I'm really glad we picked it. What did you
what
think
would
about
you
it?
what did you think? I think I'm going to settle for my rating of 4 stars because I did enjoy it and I like the fast pacedness of it. And I like the fact that it's someone's a different story from a different perspective, and actually still taught about racism and things like that. If somebody was an Indian descent during that time and of the upper echelon,
Mm,
getting to see their story and actually have to deal because it's being based in reality on it's how you would expect on how they would be treated and how do you fall in love during all that kind of situation. So that's exactly the kind of like historical romance that I'm like, I want you to. This is the example of yes, you can have diversity in your historical romance and still make it more historical and touch on these subjects and make it realistic.
mhm.
Apparently that's a argument that people try to make. But yeah,
Yeah,
so that's exactly.
there were no black people in that time. I was like, "Yes, there were. Stop
Yeah,
it."
like they're a what's it called? It's an empire or colonial. They had all these colonies, so they just
Mhm,
took over. It's just that's how it kind of happened. You're gonna integrate, and with there's people who existed. Um,
mhm.
but yeah, I think the only so that's what worked for me. What about you?
I'm also giving it a 4. I really liked the characters in this. I really liked both the hero and the heroine. I also loved all the little kind of ballroom politics, we'll say, with kind of like, and again, the classism and the racism. Because classism was a lot in this too, with
Yeah, it was.
her not being the right kind of rich person, basically. She was a merchant's daughter, and like I really love like class kind of drama stuff like that. And then with all the
Classism.
little like yeah, and then I agree with you. Like I feel like the heroine was really strong, and her
Mhm.
kind of back and forth thoughts about things about not wanting to bring him down because of who she is, and her even not really wanting to um like announce who she really is and what family she's really from. Like, I kind of, like, understood it, you know what I mean? Like, she doesn't want these people to just like her for, like, that. And she knows they will, you know?
Mhm.
So, I
Yeah.
really like that part, but I did have one big problem with it. Should we go into that?
Yeah, what did work for you?
Basically, the entire plot. This is a matchmaking book. I don't like matchmaking books. It really just doesn't work for me because I'm so bored with the plot. Like, it's not like there wasn't drama. It's not like, but there was nothing going on. There's nothing going on. Like, she kissed him and then he can't stay away from her. Okay, sounds good. I don't know. Like that kind of a plot doesn't really work for me. And while I do love a ballroom scene, I felt like that was the whole book. for me,
The
and
the
that's
masquerade. Yeah,
The
there's two of them.
Masquerade.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it just was like I didn't feel like I need more action in my plot. I need some kind of outside something or other. But literally, I know that's a me thing. Like, and to me, the writing of this book is super well done. Like, I really love the writing of this book, and I totally want to read another book from her. But I just need more of a plot than a matchmaking book. That's all.
Yeah, I think that's the other thing I forgot to mention was I did like, I love a masquerade ball scene and the
Mhm.
fact that we opened up into that, like, ooh, we're already getting into the action and the intrigue and like the trysting,
But
all
then
the
they didn't
kissing.
stay there very long. Like
I know it. That's my critique is we moved it was fast paced, we moved too quickly because there wasn't really much of a plot. It felt it was very sensual, so that's why I like her writing. She was able to do it without being overtly in too much of it, where it
right.
kind of took away from the true emotional chemistry.
It felt like a
But
good
it still,
balance.
yeah,
It was
exactly.
hot, but
And
not spicy. Like it was,
it's
yeah,
like sensual, as I always say. It's like
sensual.
sensual. It's not. I think my main drawback, and this is why, even though it's fast paced, that's why for me it's not necessarily the best for me,
Mhm,
because there was times when I was like kind of disappointed because I'm like, oh, you could have shown me this, but you told
mhm.
me this, and
Yeah,
that was like it was consistent, and I was just like, we're cutting down the pace, you're keeping up the pace really really fast, but you're losing something because I wanted more of that, the descriptions and things what they were doing, not just I did this and you did that and we just went to this. Like there's cut scenes like that when it's needed, but I saw it happening pretty much almost every single scene when
yeah.
you should have been diving a little bit more deeper. Um, and the drama, like I hate a twirly, mustachy, twirly villain in a
I
historical
love a
moment.
mustache twirly villain, but I wasn't feeling that from this one. I don't know.
It wasn't too bad. It was just kind of because obviously his mother,
Mhm,
but it was just I just wanted to be like I guess I could see well, now that I'm thinking about it, she is gonna have her prejudice because of the way her husband had treated her. I can see that. But I think it was just a matter of I was like it's like why did it have to be the mom to
I
be the
know.
bad person? And
I
I was just like
know.
I just like why is it has to be the woman who's also doesn't have it's like you know what I mean? She's also
Mhm.
kind of been doesn't have much power. So I'm like why couldn't it be something else to
But it
kind
just
of be
kinda,
the
like, shows the generational divide too, because like, it feels like
mm,
this is, like, right when things are becoming a little bit more progressive in the area, like, he's trying to have a little bit more, votes for women's rights, but women's do not have rights in this time yet, and so, like, to me, she felt very generational, and you can tell she felt um just like how she was supposed to be a wife in her time. You know what I mean? Like what a wife was supposed to be in her time. And then also she really wants her son to be accepted into this society too. Like and she knows what the society is like and they're not going to accept her. So she just goes about it in a terrible way. Like she has like all villains good intentions, but the follow through is really terrible. In fact, the parts where they were finding, the what was it, the snake in the bed, and then like
well that was my whole thing like she was a very like that's evil that's like you could have killed her so that was like
super
to
evil,
me
and the horse thing,
yeah
like the that's hurting the
trying to
animal,
kill
you know what I
somebody
mean? Like, yeah,
trying to
like
kill somebody yeah
and she was trying to kill her, but those are the parts that I really thought were enjoyable for me because that felt like some kind of a plot. But then we got them like
true
they were
yeah
so short. I just wanted
I
more.
know I think so I was like oh you could have well I've had books where the like I can think of like The Devil's Bride where the suspense was like not that interesting or whenever it takes over the
Mhm.
romance plot
Yeah.
um kind of like what that Elizabeth Hoyt one did that like I hated that because it's like, where's this romance? I just feel like I'm reading a historical fiction with mystery, um, in that whole situation. So,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah. But otherwise, I loved this book. And I love this writer, like honestly. Like I love the author. And I don't know, like, is this a series at all?
It's
Because I feel like
what
this is an older book.
I was looking up, and I think she wrote this in 2020. I may be wrong, but looked like she wrote contemporary romance first, and I think this was her first historical romance, and that's why I was like, okay, that's not. If you keep writing historical romance, you're gonna get even better and better. But I don't like the things because I have the belief that like an author will definitely improve on their writing and kind of take the lesson from the first one. But
Looks like she has another historical called To Covet a Countess. I would totally read it. Um, because I did. I loved the writing a lot. It just was like a me plot thing. Hi, Kristen.
hi hi.
And
I guess
I also just
there's only
love
these
when
two.
like you, I love when I'm not just writing about like reading about two white people sometimes. It just gets so boring. Like,
Mhm.
like and so I love authors like Sapna and Amelie and like actually writing from and Adriana Herrera like writing from a different cultural perspective because
Mhm.
it is just really saturated with white people.
Yeah, because she was wearing her what's it called? The the Indian dress to the masquerade ball.
Yes, I loved that. At the end, her sorry and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that
she
was
wore like
so
she was
great.
wearing was she wearing a black one? A black sari with a black mask, I think, in the opening scene.
Oh, was
Yeah.
she? I see, I wasn't even paying attention to what she was wearing in
Yeah,
the
I think her
beginning.
friend was dressing up with her in a sari as well, or something, some sort of.
Oh.
I think it was a sari, but
I feel like
could
they
be.
did not like masquerade good enough because they were found out like immediately. They did not masquerade very well.
That's funny. Although I like the fact that the way she tried to distract him, so that was kind of funny.
Yeah, I liked the
That's
well,
how it
it's so
started
funny.
everything.
Okay, how did you feel? Because like his uncle was so she's his uncle's ward and she grew up with him and now he's the she's his ward, right? I just feel like it was a weird dynamic, like this whole like I grew up with you and at 15 even at 15 I like liked you, but it was a very innocent kind of like he was 18 or 19 when he came into the fam or she came into the family.
Yeah, his uncle is her ward,
Yeah. But
his
like
her
he
her
hasn't had
guardian.
any she's like but she's 22 now. She was early
No, I
20s,
think
right?
she came when she was a teenager, like younger, like 14, I thought.
I think she was under 18.
Yeah, she was under 18 when she first came into
And
from
it's been
when
like
he takes
10
over
years
from
at
his.
least. Yeah, it's been so in 10 years, like even after you're 18, like I know like the kiss kind of like triggered all these feelings in him, right? Like he's like, "Whoa, that was a good one." And now he
Well,
can't
they
stop
always just
thinking about
didn't
her.
like each other. They just rubbed each other. They always had that friction.
Yeah.
This time it turned. That's why it's kind of like a friends to lovers, which I love that. When it's like
Yeah, maybe that's why it rubbed
kind of
me the
friends.
wrong way because I don't like it. I just don't get it. Like, I'm just like, you've never had any kind of a spark for her? Because then it's
See,
like, it's only the physical part that he finally notices her. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like that. I don't like that.
well, it'd be different because if they kiss and then they're like, well, it's like it's not. There's no sparks. You're like, ew, that's kind of gross. But I don't. I think it was kind
I
of
think
like.
that's more believable for me, like when friends. I don't know. I know
Well, they
friends
didn't live
become lovers
together.
sometimes, but
I don't think they lived together, but they were at like different functions and stuff, I think.
mm, yeah. And he was away at school and stuff like that, but I don't know. Friends to lovers just don't work for me. But I did like this couple.
Well, I don't think they were friends to lovers. It was like a hate to love because they didn't hate each other, but they didn't like each other necessarily
And
either.
it was annoyance to love at
Annoying.
best. It was not a hate
Hey,
to love. Hi.
Happy's here.
That like and that's fine. Like there's different levels of hate, right? Like hate is just used as like a broad term of like
Yeah.
we're not friends. But I
We were
also just was like,
acquaintances.
eh. I still thought the relationship was hot. Like honestly, like it
It
still
was
worked
just
for me.
it was just like I loved it. It was like, oh god, it drives me nuts. And I can't help myself being like, and she also drives me like to passion or whatever.
Yeah. What was it? Like their banter in the stable when they were like, I forget what it was, but I loved it. Where she was like, "Oh yeah, whatever." Like when she's basically like, "You're not gonna feel anything for me," and she basically like bets him, and then she's like, "Kiss me, and you'll see if you." I loved that. Like I just thought,
Call him out on his crap. I love it.
yeah, and I was. He's like, "I won't feel anything." I don't forget what exactly their words were, but it
They
was
were
that
just
whole
better.
dynamic. "Oh, yeah, you're not gonna feel anything from well, kiss me and let's find out." Like, it I loved that little scene. There were, like, moments in this book that I really loved. It's just, like, that overall plot of just a lot of boring times of them just, like, figuring out the relationship, and I'm just like, "I don't wanna do that."
I just wanted it was I just wanted it to have a little bit just a smidge more description and not like more telling, not more
We're
showing.
showing, not telling, yeah.
That was my main. That's really my main one. I'm like, this is her first historical romance.
Right? How like,
Like,
it's
this is
impressive,
amazing.
like, this book is
Yeah.
impressive to me, and
Mhm.
I really loved it, but I wanna read more from her. I'm not a contemporary reader, so I probably wouldn't read those, but she at least has one other historical that was, written in 2021, so
Yeah, that makes me sad. I'm hoping she eventually writes another or more historical romance. I don't know, maybe COVID and
well,
all that stuff.
this is book 2. So there is a book 2,
Yeah, it's just two book series. I don't. It's a Two Covet, a Countess is the second one. It's the
and then I don't
Elusive
think there's
Boys.
more.
Yeah, and that's the only two historical romances she has right now.
Maybe she just stopped writing after that, I don't know, but I really, really good. And apparently a lot of people that I follow liked it too, so
Oh, really? That's cool.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
when was her last one? She had a contemporary. Oh, she has a contemporary coming out April 30th called Obsession. It's a book four of
Mm.
Fatal Attraction. So maybe she was trying to finish her contemporary series.
Yeah, maybe.
But I
Hmm.
like that like her contemporaries also just have part of her heritage as well as represented.
Good.
I think every heroine
I
is
think that's cool.
probably 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down for that other historical. I'll
Mm.
probably never because it's a series. I probably won't ever finish it, even though there's only one more book. But I'm
Just
gonna.
you should do those continuing the series I'm in the middle of books. That'll get
Yeah.
you to completing series.
Gosh, I don't even watch those.
I'm such a nerd because
You
I'm
know,
like I
I
try
just
to.
like I don't
I'm
want to
sorry, go
be
ahead.
spoiled, so I don't watch those.
Well, a lot of people do a good job of not spoiling.
They do. I'm not one of those
Mm.
people.
To be honest, I'm gonna forget what you said anyway because I'll forget. I forget what I have for breakfast.
That's true. That's true. I should think about that because I had to do like a refresher on this book because I hadn't
You're
written my
by the
review
time
yet. I was like, "What was
by
this
the
book
time
about again?" Oh yeah, okay.
right? I usually remember and write my review after we have our discussions because like, oh yeah, everything's fresh now.
I
Again.
u- I I try to write my review as soon as I'm done reading, otherwise I will forget. And then when we do art books, I just leave it in my, like my notes app type thing,
Yeah.
and then I
I
post to
don't.
Goodreads. But like I totally forgot to do that because I read this book
So fast.
at work. I think I finished it at work,
Hmm.
and so I wasn't home. Totally forgot. Totally forgot. Um, next book. Should we talk about next book?
Yeah. You remember it. I don't. I don't think I do.
Did we already pick it?
Yeah. Oh my
Oh my god.
god.
Yes,
Yeah.
mine too.
Okay.
Like totally goldfish brain. Like I will just forget. Hello. What book are we supposed to read that I totally forgot about?
It was the. Oh gosh. It's. Hold on. I got it. It's on a list. I have so many lists. It's kind of funny.
I do too, but I apparently didn't read a list about this.
It's the Rising one by Nell Nicole.
Oh,
The
were we
the
gonna
the
that's
is
right.
it the apocalypse, like, I don't know, dystopian one? I forget what it's called. It's a it's a
Yes, the one
fantasy, but
that
it also might be a
I
little bit of
have
a romance.
Stuff Your Kindle Day. Yes. We are doing something a little different. We're doing a apocalyptic or a post-apocalyptic book. I can't remember.
Post post apocalyptic. That's what the description is.
Post-apocalyptic book that is also a romance. Um,
I don't know how much of a romance it is though. So that's the only thing I just calling out
I
just in case.
and I think it says there's romance in it. What is it? Rise of what? Let's
It's
say the
called
name of the book.
Rising. It's Rising is called a State of the Union novel by Nell Nicole.
That's right. Nell Nicole. Let's see. Let's
Kind
see.
of like Fallout because it says
Yeah.
it says ravaged by nuclear war, humanity struggles to survive against amidst the aftermath of radiation that has altered their DNA. It's totally Fallout.
My battery's dying. No, don't die on me now. Um, okay, we're good. We're good. Yeah, I want to read it. I'm gonna read it.
Okay, so wait,
I
she said
did
you
get
can
Blood Bride.
the Blood Bride. Okay, what's that one?
That one is on Everand though too, I think. This is a mafia vampire book.
Um,
I'm gonna read it, but maybe not for book club. Um,
I think we're yeah, I'm cool with right. See, this is me stepping out of my comfort zone with the
yeah, and I've
apocalyptic.
been
This
wanting
is
to
what I'm
read
used
more.
to. Yeah.
I've had this book and the second book on my Kindle from Stuff Your Kindle Day for a while now. And this one is a post-apocalyptic Earth ravaged by nuclear war. Humanity struggles to survive amidst the aftermath of radiation that has altered their DNA. So there's magic. They're at a compound in Monterey, California. Ooh, my neighborhood. Not really. That's like 2 hours away.
She's a leader. She's the leader. It's called the compound. Is that what it's called? No idea how that works.
When a mysterious stranger appears at the gates of the compound, the truth behind the undead attacks is revealed. Amaya, her most trusted friends, and the stranger must embark on a dangerous mission to another territory. So it's a little bit of a road trip.
I like those.
Me too. And yes, we're not really sure how much romance is in this one, but it was on a romance Stuff Your Kindle Day. So I'm assuming there is some on there. Yeah, it's supposed to be mafia vampires.
Oh, Becky's trying to get her to read the
Yeah, she's trying to get me to read
apocalypse.
this book. Becky, let's buddy read it if you want to read it. I don't think I don't think Crystal wants to. But I want to.
This vampire, and I'm like,
We're just kind of like wanting to like something a little different. Because I've been reading a lot of romantasy. Um and then we have a historical as well. And since we're both mood readers, we felt like in a different mood. I remember. I remember
we're,
now.
we're feeling it. Yeah, because I was like, I wanted to, I saw it because I saw it on her Instagram. And I'm like, oh, like, I've never heard of this. And I'm like, I'm going to go check it out. I'm like, hey, April would love this kind of a book. And I'm like, hey, you would love this book. I'm like, wait, do we want to do this for book club? Because
I'm
I'd
okay
be
with
willing to go out of my
post-apocalyptic.
comfort zone for you.
Yeah, it's a different kind of fantasy for me. So it's like I have honestly been really like gravitating towards like end of the world books lately. Like
Oh, so am I.
blow it all up and start fresh books. Obviously that comes with a lot of drama though, and that's why I really like some of these post-apocalyptic ones. So,
And then you're
um
promising HGA, so there's still
yeah,
excitement.
exactly. Exactly.
Why? I don't know. Why, April?
It
What's
doesn't
going
feel like
on?
the world is ending or anything. That's another bear I'm doing, by the way. We were talking about my bears before we started. the the everything's fine bear, where I'm gonna have him reading a book while he's on fire. That's the bear I want to do.
That was a
Anyway,
good one.
that's where my brain. I also was thinking of a I'm moving to Canada bear, and he's just gonna be a bear in a little Canada shirt with like a little scarf, and he's like, "I love Canada flag."
No, you should put a can the leaf on the belly.
I know, huh? I'll have to figure out once I get like I feel like I could find like a little charm or something. I think it's
I'll
gonna
do
be more
some
like something like that I can just slap it on. You know what I mean?
It's too bad you could have gone to Joanne Fabrics for it. Not
Right?
anymore.
It's not closed yet, but it might as well be.
Hmm.
So
People already were mad that they can't use gift cards. Like, well, guys, it's
they're
going down.
closing.
We don't
I
have
know. My
funds
sister's like,
anymore, man.
even my teacher discount? I'm like, yeah, duh, your discount's not gonna work.
Like, they're giving pretty much everything 3 times off.
Oh, I didn't know beaver beaver was their national animal. Well, I'm doing bears, okay? Maybe he'll be holding a beaver, like his little pet beaver, in his Canada shirt, his little scarf and hat, his little beaver and his flag that I'm moving to Canada. I love Canada. Please accept me.
You know where my brain went.
Yeah, it's true. I told never mind. Lord.
Mom, what are you laughing about? Nothing.
Nothing. Just beavers. Oh, the wisdom. So
I'm
that's
already
it.
thinking about our May book, by the way.
Our May book. What, what is that? I forgot.
Well, I'm gonna do the Ever After Ethan. I've been telling everybody pretty much about it, but
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm thinking ahead of time,
right.
and it's gonna be something geared towards you too that will help what team you've decided to be on.
Pirate.
So yeah,
That's right. You told me the book, and I forgot what book it was. Sorry, I am
I don't know which
terrible.
I don't know which one. Hey, I
Oh,
accidentally let it out on Becky's thing.
I do.
I'm like,
Let's
I'm
do
the
it.
worst
I
person
do
ever.
have
I'm
a
so
very
sorry.
specific pirate historical romance list. Could see what's on there. I don't know if any of these books are good.
I've been trying some. I was talking to Athy too on Instagram. Like I was messaging you and her. Like I really want to try some Beverly Jenkins, and so I was like, I may or may not be on thrift books right now. And I played the fifth.
I know. I really liked Captured. That was probably my favorite Beverly Jenkins.
Okay.
But overall, like I think I read Captured. How many did I say I read? 3? And they all felt more cozy to me, and you know me, like cozy's not exactly my thing, but I love Beverly Jenkins writing again. Like yes, that the end part got me. I was like, "What the crap is happening? Because the whole book is like pretty like her normal books. But there's this part at the end was like, I don't think I read Wild Sweet Love yet. I read the Levesque series, and I think I read like 2 or 3 books from that series.
I haven't
So
read
they're like,
anything by her. So I'm like,
"Ah,
let's do this.
I think you would really like her."
I'm on it. Yeah. I'm probably like I was reading some of the synopsis, like, why haven't I started reading her yet? And I'm like, usually because I was doing library sales mainly. And I'm like,
No one gives them
sells
up.
her
They
books.
hoard those
No one wants to give her books.
Bev
So
Jenkins books.
I'm like, I had to fight to find Stacy Reed at a half price books, like to even find her because no one wants to give her books up either.
Yeah, but I do have the Destiny books, so I know we were talking about those books. So if you wanna read them together, I'm fine
I
reading them.
may or may not have that in a thrift book order.
You may or may not. Just a small thrift books order. So,
Maybe.
like, there's, actually, this isn't just historical. There's a Shanna Galen one called The Rogue Pirate Bride, and I really wanna read it. And then there's another one called it's got the dude on the front. What is it called? This is okay. Pirate Laird. And it's got this guy with his red hair on the front. And I'm kind of obsessed with it. I don't know if it'll like show up because it's really small.
Oh, he's got the full on beard too there.
Right? He's like a Scottish pirate, maybe? I don't know. Maybe that's just a red hair talking, but I don't know. No, it's Highlands. It's Highland. The series is called Highland Force. And this one, that's why I thought Scottish. And like, um, there's that one too. I'll probably read it for the ever after.
I'm
Ah,
I'm gonna call it
did,
ever after and
did
say
you
it's
announce that yet?
no, but it's not. It's a not so much well kept secret. I just all the teams are still kind of like secretive.
Shh, we won't tell anybody.
Tell anybody, guys.
Right, right. He's like something too. Like it's the windswept hair. I
Scottish
still,
burly pirate.
yeah, I still want to read an alien pirate book too. So there's that. So I have pirate books.
So she's reading My Last Duchess.
Oh, I
Right.
don't know that Eloisa James is for me.
There's a Duchess one that's like my favorite that I still think about to this day that I read in high school and I can't. I think it's one of the Duchess. It's in the Duchess series. It's one where she's wearing the green dress.
Mm.
um,
Those are the books that I got from one of my grandmas, and then I just decided I didn't want to read it. I was like, "Sorry, grandma."
oh gosh, I think I have it.
But I don't
I
think
enjoyed American Duchess by her.
I don't remember
American
ever reading anything from her, like, not that I can remember, but that's
She has
I
a
mean,
Beauty and the Beast one that's good. Oh, Duchess by Night. I think it's this one. Again, the
mm,
glare.
the leg.
Um,
Look at that leg.
she's a widow, and I think she has like a tryst in a garden thing that I still kind of, I don't know, lives rent free in my mind. I don't know. It's just like one of my, I think my first like scandalous one that I read, where they had a tryst.
Yeah. I don't think I've read any of these. I know she has a ton of books. I'm sure I'd like at least one of them, but I don't know. She doesn't like grab me, you know?
Oh, I think Effie said she's DNF'd. Eloisa Jane. Eloisa Jane. If I could
That
speak
sucks.
open.
This is one
Yeah,
of
there's
like
certain times like there's hit or misses. There was one that I just that was in that same series. That's a pink one. I hated it. I'm like, this is horrible, but I respect that she's trying a different writing style and trying something different, but I didn't like it. So that's why
yeah.
she's hit or miss for me.
Well, and I also just gravitate towards the newer historical. So these have been out for a while. And so I just, like I finished Tropical Duke. Tropical
Yeah.
Rebel gets the Duke, 5 stars. It. I think you would love that whole series, honestly.
I'm reading the first one.
I know. Are you DNFing it?
I
The second
can't.
and
I
third
tried.
ones
It's
are
like too not robotic, but I don't know. I don't know. It's just the point. It's like I didn't get the setting, like the initial setting, and now I'm like, who? Wait, what? Where? What are we doing? Who's
yeah.
what?
Okay, I will say that one's probably my least favorite. I
Okay. Okay.
really liked book 2, and then this one was probably my most favorite. But they're all to me, they were all like 4 or 5-star books. But I do like looking back at all 3 of them. The second one's Sapphic, and that one is amazing because it's also kind of set in Paris, which you don't really get a lot. And then there, I think I want to say it's like Venezuela. Is it Venezuela? Is where her family is from or something like that. I forget what it is.
Like,
And then
because the fact that you said she's in Paris, I'm like, I wouldn't have known that if they didn't just say, oh, she's in Paris. I'm like, I didn't get any descriptions, and that's kind
because
of
she's an artist, so they're in this like whole artist community, and then she's kind of closeted a little bit, so it's like she's just kind of finding her footing, and then the 2 women together are just like fireworks. They're like they're great. And then this third one I loved because she's a doctor, and she's a female doctor, and it's illegal to be a doctor of certain things. And but women are getting harmed by kind of these backdoor doctors who aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. So she's like doing legal and illegal things, kind of. And I just like the politics of it, and like just her background of it, and just him. Loved it so much. Loved it so
So you're
much.
saying I should, if I don't like the first one, to try the second or the third one
Try the
and
second one.
compare
If you don't
these?
like the second one, then forget it.
Okay, but I can read it out of order, so it's okay if I didn't read the first one.
I
You don't
think
mind.
you can. I think you can read any of them out of order.
Okay.
Like I mean, you'll see the characters in there, but who cares? You know that those are the characters to me.
Okay. Okay.
Like you know that they're couples. Like I don't know. I don't think I think you could read these out of order and it would be fine.
Okay.
Because at the
There's
most,
something
you
about
just
me having to read in order that's like
I
offensive.
I'm the same way. I'm like no. Book 1 is first. Book 2
How
is
dare
second.
you not related because I
Like,
read.
don't you tell me these could be read out of order. I don't like it. Um, but I do think you can.
Okay.
So,
Feel like this is right, Virginia. Yeah, and that's why I wanted to read something that was just different and authors that were more diverse that I hadn't tried before instead of
mhm.
the OG. There's still a lot of OG authors I haven't even read yet from because I just what I did was I would find an author and I would just try to find all of their backlists that I could find at the library and read every single one. Find another author if I liked it, but try to read every single backlist book. It's like my it was kind of funny how I was like I had a system going, and that was before like really when we were doing tracking because you had the old file system. So like all I had was the front of the book to go by or
Yeah.
like the back of the book to find which book I needed to read next.
And see, I'm just a floater. I'm like, oh, this looks good.
Those are wild times, man.
I was like, ah, this one looks good. Let's read this one now. I literally have no plan. It's so hard. The hardest video for me to ever make each month is my TBR video. 'Cause I'm like, I'm literally doing this TBR knowing full well this is bullshit. And I'm not gonna stick to it. Like I know full well that this is not gonna happen. I have the
I'm
best of
like, we got a
intentions.
50-50 chance that half of these I will read and half I know is probably not going to read or is going to be rolling over to the next one.
I have really good intentions in the beginning of the month, and I'm like, okay, TBR. I'm gonna read this book first, this book second, and I'm like, oh, squirrel, and I get so distracted by something else.
Or I find out, oh, someone's having a book club on a book that I've been wanting to read. I'm like, oh, I actually have it and I want to read,
Oh, yeah,
actually
like,
join
oh
this
yeah, I
podcast.
actually do have to read my book club books. I should probably do that right now.
Which ones?
You're,
Oh,
you're
the
this one.
oh yeah. When are we gonna? Hold on.
When are we gonna what? I don't know. You tell me.
Okay, hold on.
I just do what other
Um,
people tell me to do these days.
um,
Poor Becky. I probably flake on her collapse the most. I feel like I don't do it intentionally at all. It's just like I'm flaking on a lot of things lately. It's just where my brain is. I can't focus. Hey, I
um,
don't fully flake. I just might get a little delayed sometimes.
yeah, my main too. I'm like, oh yeah, crap. I underestimate how much time I need to do. Um, like TBR.
Oh, yeah, your trip.
One.
You're gonna have a lot of long flights to listen to books on.
Yeah, I have a work trip middle of the month. I was didn't want to be on an airplane.
We got told next year we're probably not gonna be able to travel, so we're fine.
I mean, I'm excited to see the headquarters, but here now I'm like, I'm not exactly enthused to be going on an airplane.
That is the one thing, like, about where I work is I know when budget cuts are coming because they, like, announce it before the year starts. So
Oh
it's
yeah,
like, I mean, whatever.
yeah,
But they do everything, like, so many things before they would ever get to layoffs, so it's like, I'm not too worried or anything like that. Like, it's more like, "Oh, curb your spending," and then maybe nobody travels, and then maybe the executives and the chancellors take a 10% pay cut, and it's like, then maybe we tighten our belt a little bit. Maybe we don't hire anybody this year, and then we'll go to, like, furloughs, like, anybody wanna volunteer to get rid of their time? Like, they do, like, absolutely everything before they get to a really bad part, so it's fine.
yeah.
But it means I don't have to travel.
Mhm.
Yay!
Like, yeah.
In April, I'm
Wait.
going to Texas, so I will also have a plane ride.
Oh,
Um,
oh,
so
that's
I'll
good.
have a yeah. But you know what? It's like furloughs or lay off a bunch of people. So it's like I'm glad that some type of these like out of the box thinking ideas people are coming up with, and even like me and my team, we've already been like trying to find ways to curb our spending from like a 10% savings to like 15%. We kind of like make it a challenge kind of thing. Like, where can we save
Mhm.
at? Because there's always places to save.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yep. Anyways,
When's your
work.
trip?
My trip is at the end of April. Officially, it is April 22nd to the 29th.
Okay,
So we'll have to do
so
book club
mine.
before then.
Yeah, so we'll probably have to do it earlier in the month then because I'm gotta probably travel on the 13th, which is again don't like to do that.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm still going to Texas. No, I'm going to Texas. I have like a month's worth of vacation saved up, so it's fine. Um, I just take time off. I have vacation time. I don't ever really ever take vacations. I'll take like days off here and there because with kids too, you always need like I never have I don't know about you, Crystal, but I never have sick time because it's always used up on one of these kids being sick or taking him to the doctor or blah 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 blah. So it's like I never really take vacations that often. Plus, I don't like to travel. So I'll do like a long weekend here and there. So that's why I have so much vacation
Mhm.
time spent up. So,
I'm the same way. We don't when the kid now that the kids are starting to get older, we might eventually do like a more family trip. Usually we just go down um to like the Air Force Museum or something that was actually like free and we won't have to pay for a hotel and whatever. Um but or we do something. Dean's birthday's in the summer. So we usually do something like part of our vacation is basically his birthday present because we just do something a little bit fun that's near.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's usually with for the kids when they're sick or when I was sick, fast take. But normally because my husband's a stay-at-home dad, I don't have to take it because my job is flexible enough that if I need to work from home, I can.
Yeah.
They are tracking now, though. They're tracking people. If you didn't get approval, if you don't have a good relationship with your manager.
Oh no. See, mine is
Oh
like
yeah.
just you have to so however many like days you're taking, you have to at least request it that far in advance. It's like if I take 2 days, I need to give like 2 days in advance,
Well,
notice stuff like that.
I can take it on the fly. I can't take like a full week without giving up probably a few days notice or a week's
Yeah.
notice. I'm sure if I knew ahead of time. Um, yeah, we had to return to the office. I think last year 3 times a week, Tuesday through Thursday. It was flexible, but I don't know. I forget when it started. I think it was in June when it started to be fixed that you had to do those specific days. Um, so that's when they started making it really fixed last year.
And I've been at 2 days, just doing Tuesday or Wednesday and Thursday for the last year and a half. But just this last week, I started Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They wanted us to come in 3 days, and I don't like it.
Because they're trying to make you go back to 5 days, aren't they?
They they're trying to make us go back to all 5 days starting in June or July, and they've also said that 2 years ago, so I don't know. Like, but then the state, because technically I'm a government worker, the state, Governor Newsom wants state workers back in at least 4 days a week. So I don't know if that's the push going on or not, but most of the people at my university are still doing 1 day.
Hmm.
1 day a week. So why me? Why me? Anyways.
Hey, I worked until what? Almost 11 hours, pretty much straight. Didn't have a lunch today. If
That's
you get more work out of me
terrible.
than you do in a week, because I'm in meetings. Meetings
See,
take.
we don't.
They want me
We
to do all this stuff without giving me time to do it.
we don't, and it's very well known that when you go back to the office, less work gets done because we're all chatting with each
Exactly.
other. So it's like I do more work working from home, to be honest. Ah, I'm jealous.
Me
Jealous.
too. I'm like, you would get me working probably 60 hours easily, but
Mhm.
now I'm doing it and I'm exhausted because I'm having to take really late Fridays, and it's
Yeah. And like
um,
I'll do whatever they want me to do. Like I'm not going to put up a fuss. If you're going to ask me my opinion, I'm going to tell you it sucks and I hate it and I don't have to like it because for me it's more of a negative. I'm still producing the same amount of work whether I'm at the office or at home, but it's more of a negative for me because now I have to pay more for gas. Now I have less time with my children. So we're going to go back to me only seeing my kids 2 or 3 hours a night. That's great. And then, it's just more stress, the rat race in the morning and the evenings of driving to and from. It's just a lot. So it's like, for me, it's more of a negative when I'm still giving you the same amount of productivity. So it's like,
and
whatever.
I'm losing that time with the commute. And then now with my son wants to do soccer, so I'm like, I have to cut it off. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't go over my time like I normally give, like an hour and a half, even in the office. Like I'll
Mhm.
eat through my lunch because they'll schedule meetings during lunch. I'm like,
Mm-mm.
you
That's
guys
your
are
lunch
crazy.
period. Tell
No,
them. That's illegal. Tell them it's
yeah,
illegal.
I eat at my lunch, and then I'm like, well, then I can justify, well, I'm leaving a half hour early today because I worked for my lunch and I didn't get a break, so we're going.
There
So
you go. There you
same
go.
thing. So yep,
Work.
yep,
Work sucks, man. Can't we just not work?
yeah. And
Whatever.
my job is demanding because being a finance analyst is like already finance is demanding to begin with.
Mhm.
I'm not doing stocks and all that kind of crap at least, but
I know my boss wants me to go in the financial track. So like
mm,
financial analyst is actually like the title that
yeah,
I would have, but it's like the level one that was what I would be, and I just don't want to.
yeah. I'm
Like,
almost at the manager level, almost manager level, but I'm like,
yeah.
I don't
No,
know.
to me, it's just like more work for what, like this, and it would be a lateral move for me at first. And even though the track itself is like higher paid, and I'm just like, no, I don't want to. I love a good spreadsheet, but I can't stare at it for 8 to 10 hours a day. Like my eyes already hurt as it is.
Yeah, yeah. I like my job right now is to find things that are wrong, and I'm like, well, they tell me that like, well, I tell them things I'm like that are wrong, and I'm like, here's the fix. But I feel like I'm always the bearer of bad news, and I'm like, hey, this is what I fixed, this is why. But hey, guess what? It's a symptom of a larger problem, and here's
Mhm.
your end-to-end process that would fix it. And
Yep.
but
So
it's
you're
just
just
funny.
always like the bad guy.
Oh yeah, but no, they're just like, and then we I'm trying to onboard the somebody else who's a higher level than me, and he's like, wow, you know a lot. And I'm like, what would they do without with if you would leave? And I'm like, that's the big question, right?
Mhm.
That's a great question.
My work already got a taste of that when I went on like with when I was pregnant with my son, I went into early labor, so they're
Mm.
scrambling for like a week when I couldn't go to work. They were like, maybe we should find someone to replace April for a little bit.
Oh, I was out sick because I had COVID.
Oh
COVID
God.
was freaking sucked out, going insane, and
Yeah.
I was like, they were all out. I was panicking because I'm like, no one can handle my crap. And I'm like, they're going to freak out. And I'm like, my manager was all cool beans, but I know they were like, I came back. Everyone was so much more appreciative and like so much more, a little bit more kinder. They were
Right?
like,
Like, man, you do a
and
lot. Yeah,
they were
I know.
like,
I
you
know I
do
do.
so much. I'm
I
like,
keep it's like the things you keep telling them and now they finally get it. They're like, aha. It's like their aha moment. Yeah.
until my manager had to start doing it because she was due to the thing, until she had to start doing the things that I had to do. And she was like, she didn't understand why things would take a little longer and stuff like that. She's like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyways, we've been yapping about work.
Oh, we're such yappers.
So to wrap up, we both loved this book.
Mhm.
We
I
both
think you both
agree
did too.
Sapna Bog needs to write a ton more historicals, but I don't know that she's going to. And our next book is called Rising, State of the Union. You guys should check out the author's Instagram. What is the author's name again? Nell.
Mm. Noel, now, no. Oh gosh, darn it. Hold on. Rising.
I'm gonna share the reel that Crystal saw that she's like, oh, I should read this book and April would like it. And then I was like, yeah, I already have those two books in my Kindle. Like, let's do it. Um, I'll
Nell
reshare them to my
Nicole.
stories.
Okay.
Noelle Nicole. Yeah.
Nell Nicole. Nell Nicole.
Nell
N
Nicole. Oh my God, I'm already up.
Nelle and
I'm
then Nikole. Yeah.
already I'm failing. But anyways, I will share it to my stories because it is an indie author, really lesser known author, but I really like her stories about the book too, and I really feel like this is a book that I would like. So,
I love
and
it
it's
when the author
different.
gets me hyped up for their book. This hypes me up for like, yeah, let me read that.
Well, it's just like the at Romanticism, the C.D. Reese author that Becky was talking about earlier. She hooked me.
She
She
sold it. She's
hooked
like,
me.
all right,
She
I'll
sold me.
buy. I'll
All
buy.
right. Yeah, I'll buy it. Say less. I love it. I love being surprised by books too. Stuff
Hmm.
like that. It just makes the experience more enjoyable. Like I'm very much an experience reader. Like I just want to have a good time while I'm reading it. It doesn't have to be the best time of all time. I just want to have a good time while
Exactly.
I'm reading this book. I'm having my moment with this book. And so like I love when I get that experience about like discovering the book too. Stuff like that.
Exactly. Like, yeah, what's the one you discovered? The the
The
most
scatter the
moment,
scattered
your favorite? Your
the
favorite?
scattered
Okay.
bones.
I
The
can't remember
scat
that.
the scattered bones. Everybody needs to read that book. We should read it for book club. I'll read it again.
Yeah, we want to do what? June? Is that the next one? Let's do it for June.
Okay, because it's on audiobook now, so I could listen to it this time.
Ooh. Okay. That's cool.
Sounds good.
Yeah, Becky got it. I think she no, did Becky gift it to me? Yeah, she
Oh,
got it
did
for
she?
kids to
I
read.
don't even own a physical copy yet, and you guys do. What is wrong with me?
Well, I'm mainly a physical book reader, so it just kind of exacerbates the problem.
I just finished another book from her, Nicole Scarano. Exactly. We're like, I'm gonna forget this that I even said this. So
Oh, I'm
somebody
gonna write it
remember
down.
it.
Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
I'll write it
Crystal.
down.
Crystal's the reminder person. She does all the things for this. Okay. Like I forget. I'm terrible. I'm so sorry.
Kristen, follow the Mood Reader Book Club. We have a Instagram thing, and we always post like the month before, like when I'll write initial post, and then like in that body of the post will be the sprints and then the actual live show.
Yep.
So we'll have that.
Yeah.
So we'll remind you. We'll remind you.
And then
Yep.
May is probably we might not. No, we're gonna do a book in May. I was gonna say
Yeah.
we might be too busy, but no, we will do a book in May.
Oh yeah, because we have plenty of time. We'll do sprints and such, and do a
I know. Okay.
on on the Pharisees kind of
On the
thing.
Pharisees, the wind blowed in my hair. All right. I'm gonna go lay down now. I'm tired. My
I gotta
brain
take
is
a
done.
siesta.
Take a siesta. I've got to work on my son's plushie he wants me to make that hurts my hands. So my hands are yesterday my finger was legit numb because the
Mm.
yarn I have to use to make this thing. But anyways, I'm gonna go do it.
Okay.
Bye. I'm all waving like
Alright.
this. Like, get out of
Alrighty.
here.
Are we done? Are we good?
Yeah,
We're going?
yeah,
Okay.
we're done.
Alright.
We're done.
Okay.
Let's
Bye-bye. I never social cues are not my strength, okay? Bye.
bye.
Bye.